why should I treat people nicely when they're not treating me nicely, when they're being mean and rude and aggressive towards me? And that's a question that I think we all wrestle with, or I know that I wrestle with. I grew up in a Christian-based household, and one of the things that we read in Scripture at that time was around this idea of, well, if you are struggling with someone, if they're being mean to you, then you do something nice to them, treat them nicely, and this is a quote, it'd be like heaping burning coals on their head. And I read that as a child, and I've read it again as an adult and gone, that's a really weird statement. To actually treat someone nicely so that it's like heaping burning coals on their head. In my mind, that meant that would make them really upset. They'd get really angry and they would fume about how nice you are to them, even when they're being mean to you, and that'd be pretty funny. That was what I thought it was. Recently, I discovered that there was an Egyptian tradition that when people were remorseful, when they had actually done something wrong and they felt bad about that, to show that remorse and to probably experience that remorse, they would carry around a pan of hot coals and they would wear it on their head, and they would just journey through the day with that on their head. It was a sign of remorse. It was a sign that they had changed their mind and their attitude. Understanding that particular behavior and that particular culture has changed the way that I think about the reality of treating people nice when they're not being nice to you. It is no longer about, oh, this is going to make them really angry and going to upset them even more, and changed it or transformed it into the reality of, hey, if I treat someone nice, even if they're mean, if I'm generous to them, even if they are being non-generous, they're being cruel and rude, my behavior towards them could actually transform their behavior. And that is the possibility. That is the hope that we carry when we act out in generosity. It's an effort. It requires a huge amount of strength and a huge amount of discipline at times. But if we do behave that way, if we behave in generosity, we can transform other people's behavior.